How y'all doing, darlings? Um, you know, I could not quite figure out the other day why my screen was turned around. I don't know about that. It said I was live broadcasting and that all my information would be sensitive. I hope y'all had a good day. I'm learning. I think for certain topics, it does a live broadcasting versus me turned around the other way on my screen. That's okay. I'm going to roll with it and the learning that I'm being provided. All right. So this topic about Queen Lauryn Hill hit my line the other day. I said, oh. And then it's not the first time I've heard of her being late, but I didn't know how, engrossed people were with it. And I was watching a video I'm at the IHOP. Ooh, I'm at a chain restaurant. By the way, the Jericho video, it's still downloading. It took me an hour and a half to complete the video, and it is 2 o'clock in the morning, and it is still downloading. The Megan Thee Stallion video loaded, but I was waiting to do the Jericho video first because that's the one I worked on first. So when that's done, I'll post the rest of these. Let's get back to it. I had a few different thoughts when I was listening to her talk about the reason why she was late. I tell you how we're going to handle this session. We're going to start off with some love. Then we're going to listen to the video together. I've already dissected it. After I dissected the video on my thoughts, I went and I wanted to understand her a little bit more, so I divulged into her history. So I listened to another video and I did clips of a young lady who did a session on her about 5 years ago. And then Lauryn Hill was talking about a few things, so I took a few clips out of that in regards to try to understand her reasoning. Let's start with love. I found something I think as a Lauryn Hill fan that you would enjoy before we get deep into this session and discuss some things. Whoopsie daisy. Am I still going? I'm still going. Okay. Let's see. It's a few young folks. Young folks is just doing what young folks do, which is what they should be doing. Living. All right. I got my decaf. Sometimes we need to be reminded of a few things. So I'm hoping to do some reminding today.
Miseducation. Now I don't. I used to love you. Now I don't. You might win some, but you really lost one. You just lost one, but it's so silly. How come when it's all done, did you really gain from what you've done? It's so silly. How come you just lost one? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
I found that on my Instagram page about 3 o'clock yesterday morning. That is from a group that's on the Welcome to the Culture page. Okay, I wanted to start off with love. We started off with some love. Let's go listen to the clip where she talks to her fans and let's get to the nitty gritty, shall we?
Move beyond the marketplace and reach more buyers when you sell with...
You ain't trying to do no commercials, honey.
So I went around the world and I played the same album over and over and over again. Because we're the survivors. And we're not just the survivors, we're the thrivers.
What's up, everybody? This is the world famous.
So I listened to that clip when Forgotten Kings TV2 passed through on my timeline. I said, uh-oh. And then I rewatched it a few times. And I started to ask questions. And this is what came to mind when I watched her body language and listened to her speech. Okay, and then I went and I dissected the BillBoard music video, not music video, the article later on after I wrote this, and I'll touch on some points there. All right. Before I learned about the BillBoard, I did do a written out skit. I still might do that skit separately from what I'm about to talk about. Here we have something called for the African American community. It's called the Center for Leadership and Development. Their phrase, every time we came to class, it was to learn this phrase. In time, on time, every time, except when a little bit ahead of time, and that's better time. I went through comments on a few folks section, and these comments are like atrocious. But I'm just gonna get through this, and then I'm just gonna play the clip that I listened to early this morning before I heard the young gentleman sing. You know, congratulations, you're celebrating your 25th anniversary of being a musical icon. Hip hop, rap, R&B has paved the way. You have paved the way for neo soul. You started rapping because you felt that R&B and neo soul was falling off. These are things I learned as I was listening to Impressive. Let's address a few things. You see this picture I got in the background? I cleared my screen just for y'all, since I have now learned that podcast means they're going to put this little bitty circle here in the corner of my screen. Isn't that nice? Got her all ready and everything. She looks phenomenal. That look took a lot of work. That's the first time look for her that I've seen. She probably did not know how long that look was going to take. I am not sure if Miss Hill, her beautician or makeup artist, knew how long that was going to take. Miss Hill would need to have at least the hair done a day ahead of time. and makeup artist early that morning or a.m. I adore Miss Hill. Arrangements would need to be made, but yes, operating on Gregorian and not Mayan time calendar would be important for concert purposes. Now, I completely understand lost in the zone, outer space, and forgetting to come back to the world. Fans or clients are on time to see the Queen. Those fans or clients are mostly located on the third dimension, operating on Gregorian calendar time, schedule, and pay. Unless it's an emergency, maybe 5 to 15 minutes is understandable for unforeseen traffic. I think we have all been there with traffic on a regular day trying to get somewhere. That whole traffic thing can't be avoided unless on a private jet or helicopter. Personally, I enjoy driving or being driven when traveling if it's less than 6 hours. Otherwise, I enjoy planes. If there is an opener, that is a nice time filler before performing. It allows a little leeway before going on stage. Granted, Miss Hill would need to be in the building with an opener, maybe like a poet, R&B, neo-soul artist, and not on the way. She doesn't necessarily need an opening act, but if she would like to aid those in the community, that would be good for emerging artists that are on her consciousness level. I had considered going to the Lauryn Hill 20th anniversary concert. I asked my gay male friend, and he said I went to see her once. She was dramatically late. I said, really? He said, yes, hunty. All I know is the type of music that this songbird sings, raps, and has contributed to the hip-hop game is actually privy. It is needed and detrimental for the community, especially the African American community. There is love in Miss Hill's speech, but also much pain. As if Miss Hill literally has to talk herself into gracing the stage while held back by other forces. Maybe Miss Hill feels because she had not dropped any other albums, her voice has been somewhat quieted. Who is they? Get rid of they. We need and want you, for God's sake. Love dropped new material right on the stage with new songs and albums. Sell merch at the concerts with paid signings and photos. Use that money to fund new projects. You don't need a label. Make them beg, then tell all the leads no. Then you can go to an imaginary fiery pit Christians call hell, or join what comedics call the netherworld. You, Miss Hill, are legendary. That means being on time or as close to time as possible for your own party. Okay. All right. That is exactly what it is. We don't invite pity to parties unless it's in a song. When I was going through a very difficult and trying time, songs like His Eyes on the Sparrow. By the way, do you remember the beginning of your career? Were you late in trying to get aligned when you were given that phone call and said to come in to Sister Act 2? Or were you on time to meet your new acquaintances? It's simply a question. All right. Killing Me Softly, Doo Wop, That Thing, and Zion Ease the Pain. Woo. I gotta find peace of mind, and I got outstayed on repeat at my altars. I would fall asleep late at night listening to the sound of Miss Hill's voice. Miss Hill, did you forget the 1999 Miss Education? The awards. Album. Award for Album of the Year, Best New Artist, Best R&B Artist. Music Award for Video of the Year, Award for Best R&B. Award for Best Female Video, Award for Best Art Direction, Award for Best R&B Video, Best Female R&B Vocal, President's Award for the NAACP, Favorite Album, Soul R&B, Top R&B Album, Best Album of the Year for Soul Train, and the list goes on for that year. I deliver your words back to you, Miss Hill. I get out of all your boxes. I get out. You can't hold me in these chains. I get out. Father, free me from this bondage. Knowing my condition is the reason I must change. But oh, how quickly we forget that nothing is for certain. When I listen to, you said that you didn't feel like you were disrespecting your fans by being 2 hours late. Okay. You know what? I hold you accountable. I hold you to a higher standard. I want you to come get that freedom you singing about in your song, I Get Out. That is rightfully yours. Dump the imaginary days out your mind and into the trash can. And yep, it is a box. I triple dare you be on time or ahead of time for your party. Watch how you feel change along with your pocket coin. No excuses. They are lies wrapped up in excuses. I get out. We all got excuses. That is your number one money maker, is them concerts and them babies, your heirs, and some other things. In the meantime, the people in these comments and all these articles are saying they getting out. Oh my. Respect peoples, also known as consumers, time, especially when ticket prices vary from $59.50, $399.50, $449.50, bronze at whatever, $599.50 to $649.50 for bronze. Silver, $1,009. Oh, that was for silver. I'm sorry. $399.50 to $449.50 for bronze. VIP. $599.50 to $649.50 for VIP. Silver, and then $1,019.50 for gold per Ticketmaster. People plan date night around you, rearrange their schedules, schedule babysitters, and travel to see you. Now, this age has been really wonderful with all this thought music going around. Amen. Hallelujah. I've been twerking and shaking my maracas all over the net. Some of us have found freedom in it. I don't particularly expect that from you, madame. However, I am curious. The artistic expression you will use to revitalize a drowning hip-hop industry whose playlist consists of the latest strip club rap anthems and hot TikTok and IG finds. Dear legend, I shall nickname you Balance. I am no Aretha Franklin, but this bridge can advise you. You are an essential key link between soul music and the original hip-hop art. Balance is exactly what the music industry needs. A talented, gorgeous, multi-talented artist that is already developed. It's been 25 years. We are long overdue. What the heaven or hell are you waiting for besides yourself? Go over yonder to lure her in over that hill. Be mindful. Be loved. No more seeing on the internet or hearing it in person. Your reputation supersedes your magnificence, starting by being notoriously late. One love. I'm going to play a few clips, from what I listened to last night. Let's see. Clips. Go to my clip section. Canceled shows and reputation of being late, frustrated fans.
Canceled shows, and she had a reputation of being late to her concerts, which frustrated her fans. In 2010, Lauryn began performing more. She performed at the Rock the Bells Hip Hop Festival and received a very warm welcome by the crowd. Many people were excited to see Lauryn back on stage again.
Lauryn, you're back. What besides the kids is the reason why we haven't seen you?
I wanted real life as well. You know, out of public scrutiny, I wanted to be able to live, to reclaim my private life.
Lauryn managed to maintain her privacy for the most part. No one knew much about her personal life other than the fact that she had 5 children with her longtime fiancé, Rohan Marley. However, in 2001, news about her breakup with Rohan hit the web when it was reported that Rohan canceled shows and...
Let's see. That's the only clip I'm going to play you from that. But I do want to read you something from BillBoards. Severe vocal strain and injury. Fought through the last couple shows, pushing my voice and masking the injury with medication. This isn't safe or sustainable, she said at the time. It's a more plausible explanation for this musician's somewhat chaotic touring schedule, though it doesn't completely explain the perpetual lateness. If you are not completely loving, you look phenomenal on the stage. But if you are not completely loving what you do, and you are upset about something that may have happened or occurred behind the scenes that maybe no one else knows about but you and maybe a few other people, maybe it's time to address that in the light instead of making other people pay for it. They're already paying with their time and attendance. It is very selfish of you to very selfish. If the tables were turned and it was you on the other end, you didn't get that chance and somebody else got that chance and you went to the concert, and the person you paid your hard earning wages for surviving, not thriving. I'm just saying. Okay, well, this wraps up this segment. I wanted to touch base on that quick. Yeah. One of the things that came to mind is if you have been invited internationally overseas for a show that's an hour to get paid whatever amount of money you wanted to get paid, 24 million, 35 million, 50 million. No cap, they got a blank check. You gonna be late, ma'am, to your own party? I'm just saying. Some things to think about and meditate on and reflect on. All right, that wraps up this session, Love Tubers. I thank you so much for tuning in and hearing what I had to say. I would love to hear what you have to say. Yes, no. I mean, she is an icon. People apparently paid their money and they are waiting 2 hours. Personally, I would want my money back. Especially if I got kids and I scheduled a babysitter and I've got a budget and I operate on a different level and she didn't respect the time. But you know what? Different strokes for different folks. I could understand if it was maybe a surgeon and he's in the middle of a surgery and he's late getting to me. He's got somebody open on the table. I can understand something like that. Or they're checking the plane over and they want to make sure everything is all right and maybe they found something. Okay. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Drop the thoughts. Let's talk about it. Mwah. Oh, I got somebody here. Hello, darling. I appreciate you tuning in, sweetheart, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening, honey. Whenever this gets finished loading, I'll make sure it's up. I'm still waiting on the other video as well.
Yeah, he's right now.
And I will post all the links.